How you doing, folks? Just hanging out. Got done doing an overview for Bible study tonight, and was figuring, I'm sitting here watching the race. I'm repping my Dale Earnhardt shirt, although a little bit of a conflict of interest. Got, Dale Earnhardt, Chevy driver, and then got Wood Brothers hat on. That's Ford team, so kind of goofy, I guess. But anyway, we're watching the race right now, the Goodyear 400 at Darlington. So if you see my eyes dart back and forth, that is why. Anyway, figured since I'm doing this, might as well do a beer review. Also, if the camera quality looks different, hopefully better, I got a new phone. I've been using a iPhone 11 for God knows how long. Just upgraded to a 16E, which is the more, the slightly cheaper version. Like, only has one back camera, so maybe the actual differences won't be that big. Anyway, couldn't find my good bottle opener, so I'm going to use this. What are we reviewing? One of my favorites I haven't had in a while, Weihenstephaner Original Lager. Now, this is a Helles. If you're not sure what a Helles means or what it means to be a Helles, I reckon is the better way to say that. It is pretty much what American beer is based off of. Your Bud, Miller, Coors, all these companies were started by Germans. Before that time, before like the mid 1800s, around the 1850s, before that, American beer was primarily, of English origin or from an English style, mainly like porters and ales. And then German people came over and they wanted their nice, bright, refreshing lager beer. So like I said, that's where you get things like Budweiser. You get, Adolf Coors making, the Coors Brewing Company, and you get, Adolphus Coors. I don't know. It's Adolphus Busch, Adolf Coors. What's the other one? Frederick Miller. There we go. Pabst, Schlitz, all of that. American beer is based off of German beer. Now, there are some differences, of course. Now, this, I am quite certain, is brewed under the purity law of 1516, also known as the Reinheitsgebot. Anyway, this beer is 5.1% alcohol by volume. Also got the Beer Advocate website up here. And it has a 91 out of 100. So this, as far as the style, a Helles, is or at least should be, a very good example of the style. This should be a world-class beer, at least according to Beer Advocate. Anyway, color-wise, it's just a tad hazy, but not like an IPA or anything like that. There's just a very slight, very subtle haze to it. Light gold, and it had some head, but it's just dissipated here. Let's take a whiff. It smells like beer, as it should. It's nothing fancy here, at least nothing fancy if you're someone who drinks like a lot of just weird craft beer styles. This is a beer that should smell and taste like a beer. You get, your basic barley, you get that maltiness, that breadiness, and you get just this, maybe it's lemongrass, but some kind of just grassiness. Of course, that's the hops. Let's take a swallow. Oh, that's good. That is really good. Flavor-wise, it's honestly, there's not much to say. Not saying that it doesn't have flavor, because for a paler lager, this has plenty of flavor, but it's exactly what it should be. It's exactly what you expect from beer, but it's just done so well. This is if you took like an American style beer, like I said, but you just made it with better ingredients and better care. And it's just, if you have someone who the only thing they drink is like Busch or Budweiser, get them something like this. Get them a German Helles and say, hey, try this. They might not buy it because this is going to cost a whole heck of a lot more than Busch, but you might be able to broaden their horizons a little bit. But yeah, the taste follows the smell. It's bright, it's refreshing, it's, biscuity, a lighter kind of white bread note with just I'm going to steal a a phrase used by the Schlitz Brewing Company. Well, Schlitz is now owned by Pabst, but anyway, just a kiss of the hops. There's hops here. You can tell there's hops here, but it's not a hoppy beer, but it's a round beer. It's all very, very, I was about to say well balanced, but honestly, it's perfectly balanced. Oh, excuse me. I'll go ahead and read the description here on Beer Advocate. A good beer takes its time. The long storage makes our yellow bright lager original a flavorful beer enjoyed with fine poured white foam, with a mild hoppy note and its pleasant, fresh, spicy taste. Well, let's check real quick. Spice. The hops have a very mild spiciness, I suppose. It goes very well with salads, poultry, stew, or with a hearty snack. Brewed according to our centuries-old brewing tradition on the Weihenstephaner Hill. And the other reviews follow along with this description perfectly. The first one up here, they say it's grainy, malty, slightly sweet, tastes clean, like you're drinking something nature has gifted humanity. Is this healthy? It certainly feels like it. Have another. I honestly can't disagree with that. Is it healthy? I don't know. I don't know how many calories is in this, but when I'm drinking something like this, I really don't care. Because it's that damn good, you know? It's just, this is something that you just sit back, relax, and enjoy. You know what? Let's make this better. Let's get a pipe here. Because this is what a beer like this is for. It's for relaxing. It's, you know, you're not going to think about this beer because it's nothing fancy. It's just this style of beer done to perfection. There's other great companies that do Hellas's as well, I would say, like Paul Liner and Spaten. But Weihenstephaner is just, God, I need to move to Bavaria, honestly, because this is just another example of just the beauty and the artisanal, I don't know what I'm even trying to say here, but just, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You know, it's like people want to, like, for example, like with wine, you know, Champagne. Oh, it comes from the Champagne region, and it's all that. That's how I feel about Bavarian beer. It is just beer, but it's done in the best possible way. That's a hell of a combination. If you're wondering what I'm smoking, Cornell and Deal's Old Joe Krantz. It's a combination of dark and cube cut burley with red Virginia ribbon and Perique. Create a smooth all-day smoke. Another Runnerowski creation named in honor of the man who taught Bob to smoke a pipe, his grandfather. I got all my tobacco back there, but I got a couple other ones I bought yesterday. Samuel Gawith Skiff Mixture and Samuel Gawith Grousemore Aromatic Blend. And I'm smoking this out of a vintage Dr. Graybo. I think this is supposed to be from the 70s, I believe. But if y'all would like for me to do pipe videos in the future, just let me know. I'm considering doing it. Heck, I started out here smoking cigarettes. I think this is a decent place to end up. And just a little, to let you know, pipes are something that's supposed to be enjoyed slowly. It's not like a cigarette. You're not sitting here trying to, you know, puff it down quick. And it's something that's meant to just be kind of focused on. So one thing about it, if you talk a lot, your pipe will go out. Relighting a pipe is normal. Now, if I'm sitting here and I'm not talking, I'm just reading a book, I can keep this thing lit pretty easily. But once you start talking, you know, like I said, a pipe is something meant to be kind of focused on and meant to be done deliberately compared to a cigarette where you're just like, I need nicotine. Oh, that's great. But we're not here to review the pipe or the pipe tobacco. We're here to review this beer. So, what rating would I give it? Actually, real quick, I didn't mention the palate, but it's a lighter style beer, so it's not heavy on the palate. It's not the texture, the consistency isn't thick, but it's got more of a body than, say, you know, a Bud Light. It's got more of a mouthfeel than a Bud Light or a Mick Ultra or a Busch Light. But it's still light, refreshing. This is definitely something I could drink while fishing or tubing or camping or just whatever. You know, it's a little more expensive, but I don't drink as much anymore. So if I'm going to drink, I might as well drink something that I'm going to really, really enjoy. As far as the rating goes, there's other Hellas's that I might like a little bit more, but not by much, and there's not too many more than this. And I think that that Beer Advocate kind of hit the nail on the head with a 91 out of 100. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same. I'm going to follow suit, and this is going to get a 9 out of 10. A fantastic beer that doesn't reinvent the wheel, nor does it try to. It just does what it does, and it does it very well. It's like a really good, you know, like shortstop. He doesn't hit a bunch of home runs. You know, he gets on base. He doesn't, you know, like what's the Braves player trying to think about back in the day? Oh, in the mid-90s, Rafael Belliard. Actually, he wasn't much of a hitter at all, but my goodness, when Bobby Cox excuse me once again, when Bobby Cox wanted someone to just secure that part of the field, he put in Rafael Belliard. I remember watching Game 6. Well, I'd say I remember like I was there, but I have rewatched VHS of the 95 World Series Game 6, and they mentioned how Bobby Cox said he just hated to take Rafael Belliard out just because he was such a great defensive player. And that's kind of what Weihenstephaner is. It's, you know, it's not Mark McGwire, it's not Barry Bonds, it's not Sammy Sosa, it's not Jose Canseco. It's a Rafael Belliard. It does its job, and it does it damn well. And it doesn't flaunt itself or try to do anything crazy. It just makes sure that, you know, you get a balanced performance. You know, the fundamentals, if you will. So anyway, 9 out of 10. Like I said, if you would like me to do pipe reviews, let me know. Like, rate, and subscribe if you care to. If you don't, I think I'll get over it. Have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow, and do it for Dale.